Good morning. It is August the 10th, the start of a new trading week. No news on tap to speak of this morning for the United States. The overnight news centers on China, where they reported some of the worst economic numbers they've seen in a long time, and their stock market rallied 5% off of those numbers. And once again, bad economic news brings overt, open market support from central banks, and that's not going to change. That's what supports the markets in Europe, and that's what supports our markets when the economic news gets bad. The central banks jump out, and some of them buy stocks. Japan has bought a lot of stocks. The Swiss National Bank has bought a lot of stocks. The Chinese People's Bank of China has bought stocks. Now, we don't see that yet in the United States and Europe and the UK, but if they're doing it in those other spots, they could certainly do it in ours. So the direction of the E-mini probably is going to tell the tale of our Treasury tape. We have Lockhart is speaking at 9 a.m. and again at 12:30. Lockhart from the Fed is the one that says we should raise interest rates in September, and I imagine the Fed will be testing the water to see how those comments are taken. Looking at the euro, pretty good resistance at 110 even. The overnight session stopped inside of that, so our first sell is 80 to 90. Second sell is 15 to 25. Structurally, you're selling 109.75s or better. Structurally, you're buying 108.75s or better. Given the lack of news, I think there's a chance that this high volume number from Thursday at 109.25 could hold. So we're going to start off trying to buy the 40 to 50 area. It's pretty close. You know I don't like the long side of the market. I only like to go long when I'm covering shorts, and then this high volume area down here, 109.25, looks like that could be an opportunity. So basically, failure to get through 110 should set up a pretty nice sell, and I think that can take us all the way back down to 109.25. So we will see how that plays out. Okay, looking at the note, E-mini's higher, China's markets are higher, the rest of the markets around the world are kind of mixed. Not much up, not much down. So the direction of the ES is, I think, what's going to drive today's trading in treasuries, and right now it's pointed higher. Then we have Lockhart. That'll be on at 9 a.m. And if he says raise rates in September, probably will pressure both the stock market, and it should initially pressure financials, but don't know if it'll break them or not. Hard to say. So we do have one piece of news: labor market conditions index. No one will pay any attention to that. So sell 1 is going to be 11 to 15, 19 to 23. Sell 2. 1 to 5 will be buy 1. And 25 to 29 will be buy 2. Looking at the 30-year, I think this market can come off quite a bit. We got this single print right here that could hold. So this is where support is, 21 to 25. But I think we got a chance to do better. So I like the 9 to 13 area, and I'll lean against this. A little low right there. I think that one's got a shot. But near support is at 20 to 24. On the sell side, like the 3 to 7 area, try to pick up this single prints up here. May not get it. You can see right now that the first high is 29. So it may take 31s selling against 158 to get off a short. We'll put a question mark right there. and then 15 to 19 for sell 2. Volatility is coming in a little bit on this contract. We were looking at days where 2 to 3 points was pretty easy to see. Now it's 1 to 2 points, so we are losing a little bit of volatility. And these first levels right here, that's where near support and resistance are. I mean, and they're very, very tight. If we can't get through those, then the market should bounce off support or resistance. That should be your next short-term direction. The number 2 levels are opened up a little bit. This week's biggest news is retail sales. Today's biggest news is what's going to come out of Lockhart's mouth. Last week he says raise interest rates in September. I don't think that'll change. Okay, gold, really 111 right up here. It's pretty good resistance. Stops above 111, so that'll be sell 1. Then 4 to 6 will be sell 2. An American embassy was shot at, and I forget where, in Turkey. There was also an attack, a bombing in downtown Istanbul. Probably the Kurds, when all's said and done. They're usually the ones that are doing it. And the Kurds, Turkey is using the cover of the United States to launch attacks. I mean, the cover of ISIS to launch attacks on the Kurds. And they were fighting the Kurds back in the 70s when I was flying over there. And they've been fighting the Kurds since France and Britain broke up the Ottoman Empire, and that probably isn't going to change anytime soon. And really the solution for the Middle East is to go back before all those artificial states were created by Britain and France. It's a tribal part of the world. Cut up the map to reflect those tribes, and that would take part of Turkey away, and that's why they fight it so hard. Yeah, they're fighting the long war for sure. Okay, 43.50. Usually when we have some pretty heavy selling, the crude market comes back for a day. We'll test where resistance is. The attacks in Turkey probably have added a little bit of support, so 43.25, 43.50 buy 1. 42.75, 43 buy 2. I think we're going below 42.50 with a little bit of patience. 25 to 50, sell 1 and let them get stops above the overnight session high. And then 75 to 45, sell 2. Selling against 45, buying against 43 are the more attractive trades structurally. Okay, given what's going, bad news is good news for stock markets because central banks have to jump out and support the market. Last week, all the chatter was, if Apple goes down, well, they take the entire stock market with it. China's economic numbers, industrial production numbers, etc., were really, really bad overnight. Their market's up 5% off central bank intervention. So you can see right now that 2100 to 2110 is pretty good resistance, and supports in the 2160 area, 2070. So 2060, 2070, 2100, 2110, and we're kind of right in the middle of 2086. So Lockhart is probably the biggest threat to the stock market. So here we are at 86. We've got this spill from 90, so 89 to 91, sell 1, fairly aggressive. 94, 96, picking up this volume number right in here, sell 2. On the buy side, the breakout came from 80, so 80, 82, buy 1. And then 75 plus or minus buy 2. 75, a pretty round number. 2100, pretty round number. and that's where we are right now. Okay, it's going to take a bit to get everything up and put in its right spot. I'm going to get busy on that. I will be back with you as soon as possible in a bit.